Kill your laziness, because laziness is the silent thief of dreams. It sneaks into your life, disguised as comfort, and slowly chips away at your potential. Laziness isn't just about lying in bed too long or postponing things until tomorrow. It's the invisible wall standing between you and the life you know you deserve. If you allow it to linger, it multiplies like weeds in a garden, choking out ambition, discipline, and growth. This isn't a battle you fight once and win forever. It's a daily struggle, but one worth fighting, because every time you overcome laziness, you are one step closer to becoming the person you were meant to be. The first step in killing laziness is realizing that comfort is not your friend. Comfort makes promises it can't keep, promises of happiness, ease, and fulfillment. But when you indulge in comfort too often, it turns into regret. Laziness feels good in the moment, but it creates emptiness over time. Every time you put off your responsibilities or goals, you're teaching your brain that it's okay to stay stagnant. And stagnation is dangerous because nothing in life remains still. You are either growing or you're shrinking. You're either moving forward or falling behind. Laziness drags you into a slow decline where days turn into weeks, and before you know it, you've lost valuable time that you'll never get back. Laziness is rooted in fear of discomfort, fear of failure, fear of success, even fear of change. We procrastinate because we feel overwhelmed by tasks or because we fear that our efforts might not be good enough. But here's the truth: action kills fear. The longer you wait, the bigger your fears become. The moment you take the first step, no matter how small, you break the chain. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it. Motivation will not always be there, but discipline can. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't want to do it. And the more disciplined you become, the less control laziness will have over your life. If you're waiting for the perfect moment to start, stop waiting. There will never be a perfect moment. Every day you wake up is an opportunity to be better than yesterday. Don't underestimate the power of small actions. It's the small, consistent efforts that build momentum. 5 minutes of exercise today is better than planning for an hour-long workout tomorrow that never happens. Writing 1 page today is better than waiting for the inspiration to write 10 pages next week. Progress, no matter how small, is still progress. The more you act, the easier it becomes. Habits are formed by repetition, and the more you show up, the more natural it will feel to push past laziness. Understand that your goals won't achieve themselves. Success is not an accident, it's intentional. The people you admire, the ones who inspire you, didn't get there by being lazy. They got there by doing the work, even on the days they didn't feel like it. They faced the same temptations you face, but they made a choice to rise instead of rest, to act instead of wait, to push instead of pause. And you have that same choice. Right now, you have the power to choose action over apathy. You have the power to get up, to move forward, to create, and to grow. The hardest part of killing laziness is starting, but once you begin, something remarkable happens. Your brain rewards you with a sense of accomplishment. You begin to feel energized by progress. Every time you conquer a lazy moment, you build mental strength, and that strength compounds over time. Success isn't about giant leaps, it's about the small wins you collect daily. These small wins build confidence, and confidence kills doubt. With each task you complete, you prove to yourself that you are capable. And the more capable you feel, the more unstoppable you become. But beware, laziness will always try to come back. It doesn't leave for good. It waits for moments of weakness. That's why you need a plan. Create routines that eliminate decision fatigue. If you know you're tempted to hit the snooze button, place your alarm across the room. If scrolling on your phone keeps you from being productive, set limits on your screen time. Make your environment work for you, not against you. Surround yourself with reminders of your goals. Write them down, speak them aloud, and keep them in front of you. Laziness thrives in confusion, but it dies in clarity. Know what you want, and remind yourself why you want it. You also need to be mindful of the people you surround yourself with. Energy is contagious. If you surround yourself with people who encourage laziness, you'll adopt their habits. But if you surround yourself with driven, disciplined individuals, their energy will rub off on you. Find people who push you to be better, who hold you accountable, and who remind you of your potential when you forget. Sometimes you need someone to challenge you, to call you out, and to remind you that you are capable of more. Killing laziness is not about becoming a machine. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. It's about making sure that at the end of each day, you can look in the mirror and say, I gave my best today. It's about living a life with no excuses, no regrets, and no wasted potential. Laziness may seem harmless, but it's a thief. It steals your dreams, your opportunities, and your future. Don't let it win. You have the power to change. You have the power to act. And every time you choose action over laziness, you are reclaiming control of your life. Remember, the path to greatness is not easy, but it's worth it. Comfort may offer a temporary escape, but discipline offers a lifetime of freedom. The choice is yours. Will you stay in the prison of laziness, or will you fight for the life you know you were meant to live? The time to act is now. Get up, move forward, kill your laziness, and become the person you were always meant to be. Because the life you were meant to live doesn't wait. Every day you delay, life moves on without you. Opportunities are fleeting, they come. And if you're not ready, they pass by like trains you didn't catch. The thing about laziness is that it tricks you into thinking there's always more time, but that's a dangerous lie. Time is the most precious resource you have, and once it's gone forever. If you keep waiting for tomorrow, you'll find yourself stuck in a cycle of tomorrows that never arrive. The moment to act is now, not later, not soon, now. Understand that you don't have to feel ready to start. Most people wait for motivation to strike, but motivation is unreliable. It's like a fair weather friend that shows up only when things are easy. What you need is momentum, and momentum doesn't come from waiting. It comes from doing, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. The secret is this: motivation follows action. Once you start moving, even if it's just a little bit, your mind begins to catch up. That task you've been dreading suddenly doesn't feel so heavy once you dive in. Action ignites energy, and energy creates more action. The good news is laziness isn't who you are, it's just a habit. And like any habit, it can be broken. But breaking it requires consistency. This isn't a one-time battle, it's a lifestyle change. You need to choose every single day to be better than the person you were yesterday. There will be moments when you slip, and that's okay. What matters is that you get back up. Progress isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. The people who succeed aren't those who never fall, they're the ones who refuse to stay down. Every time you get up, you chip away at laziness. Every time you push through resistance, you grow stronger. You might not see results right away, and that's okay too. Growth takes time. Be patient with yourself, but stay committed. Think of it like planting seeds. Every time you take action, you're planting a seed, even if it doesn't sprout immediately. Keep watering those seeds with consistent effort, and eventually, you'll see the fruits of your labor. But you must trust the process. Laziness will tempt you to give up before the breakthrough comes. It will tell you that your efforts are pointless. Don't listen. Keep going, because the only way to fail is to quit. Remind yourself of your why every day. Why do you want to break free from laziness? What's at stake if you don't? Is it the life you've dreamed of? The future you envision for your family? Your health? Your happiness? Your self-respect? Hold on to that why and let it fuel you when things get tough. When you feel like giving into laziness, think of the person you want to become, the version of you that refuses to settle, that fights for what matters. That version of you is waiting on the other side of every decision you make. Visualize your success. See yourself completing that workout, finishing that project, or mastering that new skill. Feel the satisfaction that comes from accomplishing your goals. Make that vision so clear and powerful that it pulls you forward, even when laziness tries to drag you back. Because once you taste the rewards of hard work, you'll never want to go back to the emptiness that laziness offers. Success becomes addictive in the best way possible, not because of the outcome, but because of who you become in the process. You are not defined by your past laziness. Every day is a fresh start, a chance to rewrite your story. It doesn't matter how many times you've given in to procrastination before. What matters is what you do now. Today is your chance to choose differently. Today, you can prove to yourself that you are stronger than your excuses. You can decide to take control of your life and create the future you desire. Remember this: no one else is coming to save you. No one else can do the work for you. Your dreams, your success, your growth, they are your responsibility. And that's a powerful thing. It means that no matter what obstacles come your way, you have the ability to rise above them. It means that your destiny is in your hands. You don't need perfect circumstances or endless resources. You only need one thing: the willingness to act. Laziness is a choice, and so is greatness. The question is, which one will you choose? Will you allow laziness to rob you of your potential? Or will you fight back and claim the life you were meant to live? The time for excuses is over. The time to act is now. You have everything you need within you to succeed. All it takes is that first step, and then the next, and the next. The path to greatness isn't paved with comfort, it's paved with discipline, effort, and perseverance. But it's worth every struggle, every sacrifice, and every moment of discomfort. Because in the end, you won't just have a list of accomplishments, you'll have the pride of knowing that you conquered the hardest battle of all, the battle with yourself. So rise, get up, kill your laziness, and become unstoppable. Because the world needs the best version of you. And more importantly, you need the best version of you. Your time is now. There is no waiting, no more hoping that something or someone will come to push you forward. The only way to overcome laziness is by becoming your own force. This battle is won in the small, unseen moments. The second you decide to get out of bed instead of snoozing, the moment you open that book instead of scrolling mindlessly on your phone, the time you start working on your dream project instead of binge-watching another show. These choices, as small as they may seem, add up over time. They build the foundation of who you are becoming. You are sculpting your future with every decision you make, whether you realize it or not. Every moment is a chance to move closer to the life you desire, or to let it slip further away. The temptation to stay comfortable will always be there. It will whisper that resting just a little longer won't hurt, that missing one day won't matter. But those small lapses are the cracks that let laziness creep back in. If you let those cracks grow, they will break down your progress, making it even harder to get back on track. That's why every decision matters. Each time you push through resistance, you reinforce a habit of action and weaken the grip laziness has over you. Success is not an overnight transformation, but a continuous practice of doing the things that need to be done, even when you don't feel like doing them. Your mind will resist. At first, it's wired to avoid discomfort. But the more you act, the more you'll discover that discomfort isn't the enemy. Growth lives on the other side of discomfort. Each time you face it head-on, you build mental toughness. And that toughness spills over into every area of your life. Suddenly, things that once felt overwhelming start to seem manageable. Tasks that once seemed impossible become routine. You realize that laziness wasn't about the task being too hard, it was about your mind convincing you that it was. Once you challenge that belief through action, you strip laziness of its power. You must also remember that this fight isn't about perfection. There will be days when you fall short, when you slip back into old habits, and when the weight of life feels too heavy to carry. But setbacks are not failures, they are part of the process. What matters is how quickly you get back up. Progress is built not in avoiding every fall, but in refusing to stay down when you do. The key is to forgive yourself for the slip and take the next step forward. Don't dwell on what you didn't do, focus on what you can do now. Surround yourself with purpose. Create an environment that supports your goals. Write down your tasks for the day and check them off as you complete them. Set up routines that make action the default so you don't have to wrestle with decisions. Eliminate distractions that pull you into laziness. Replace habits that drain your energy with those that fuel it. The more you build your life around intentional actions, the less space there will be for laziness to take root. And don't underestimate the importance of celebrating small victories. Every win, no matter how minor, deserves recognition. Acknowledging progress keeps you motivated and reminds you that change is happening, even if you can't see it all at once. Those small moments of achievement are proof that you are capable of more. Use them as fuel to keep moving forward. Confidence is built one step at a time, and with each step, laziness loses its grip on you. You are in control. The power to change, to grow, and to achieve is in your hands. Your future is shaped by the choices you make today, not tomorrow, not next week, but today. Every time you push past laziness, you are reclaiming your power. Every action, no matter how small, is a victory over the part of you that wants to settle. And with every victory, you move closer to the life you were meant to live. This is your journey. No one can walk it for you. But know this, the effort is worth it. The version of you that is free from laziness is waiting stronger, wiser, and more fulfilled. Keep going. Keep choosing action. One day, you will look back and realize that killing your laziness wasn't just about achieving goals, it was about becoming the kind of person who doesn't quit, who doesn't settle, and who lives life fully and without regret. So take the next step, and then the next. One day at a time, one decision at a time. You have everything you need to win this battle. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. Kill your laziness. Rise up and become the person you were always meant to be. Because the person you were always meant to be is already inside you, waiting to emerge. Every action you take, no matter how small, is an act of calling that person forward. Laziness tries to keep you trapped in who you are right now. But the real you, the powerful, disciplined, driven version, is just beyond the limits of your comfort zone. You're not fighting laziness to just complete tasks or meet deadlines. You're fighting it to reclaim yourself. This is about living intentionally, being awake to your own potential, and no longer sleepwalking through life. Think about the things you've wanted to do but never started. Not because you weren't capable, but because you let procrastination and self-doubt win. Projects unfinished, dreams delayed, opportunities missed. Laziness is the silent saboteur of everything meaningful. But it doesn't have to be this way. Every moment offers you a new chance to rewrite your story. You're not bound by yesterday's mistakes or last year's failures. You have the power to pivot right now. Each day, you are either building the person you want to become or reinforcing the person you've been. And every step you take toward action strengthens that new version of yourself. The shift happens gradually, first in small actions, then in your mindset, and finally in your identity. You become someone who takes charge of life, who faces discomfort head-on, who doesn't wait for motivation, but creates it through movement. But make no mistake, this journey will test you. There will be days when laziness feels like a heavy weight pressing down, when your mind tells you it's okay to stop. But that's the moment when you need to push the hardest. When it feels the toughest, that's when breakthroughs are closest. Growth doesn't happen when things are easy. It happens when you push past resistance. Remember, there is no finish line in this battle. Laziness will always look for ways to sneak back in. But here's the beauty. With every victory, you build momentum. Momentum becomes habit, and habit becomes lifestyle. Before you know it, the things that once seemed hard will become second nature. Waking up early, staying disciplined, following through on promises to yourself, these will no longer be chores. They will be part of who you are. And the greatest reward is not just what you achieve, but the person you become in the process. Killing laziness means becoming the kind of person who honors their potential, who follows through, and who doesn't waste the gift of time. It's about living a life you can be proud of, a life where you know deep down that you gave your best every day, no matter how difficult it was. When you look back at your journey, it won't be the moments of rest or procrastination that stand out. It will be the moments when you showed up despite the temptation to quit. It will be the times when you chose growth over comfort, effort over ease, and action over excuses. Those moments will become the chapters of your success story. So don't stop. Keep moving forward. There will be hard days, but they will pass. The struggle is temporary, but the strength you build from it will stay with you. Keep reminding yourself that every act of discipline, no matter how small, is shaping you into someone unstoppable. One day, When you've climbed that mountain and reached the heights of your potential, you'll look back and realize that the real victory wasn't just in the things you accomplished, it was in who you became. You became someone who didn't let laziness steal their future. You became someone who showed up for themselves every single day. This is your moment. This is your time. Kill your laziness once and for all. Stand tall, take action, and never look back. Your best self is waiting. Don't keep them waiting any longer. Start now, because the life you were meant to live is just one decision away. And that decision is yours to make, right here and right now. The road ahead won't always be smooth. There will be days when the weight of old habits pulls at you, begging you to take it easy, to let things slide just this once. But that's where your strength will be tested. The moment you feel the urge to pause, to surrender to the pull of laziness, is exactly when you must push through the hardest. Growth hides in those uncomfortable moments, waiting to reward the brave with progress that can only be unlocked by persistence. This fight isn't just about daily wins, it's about building a legacy. Every time you defeat laziness, you are not only achieving a task, you are constructing the framework of a disciplined life. You are building trust with yourself, proving over and over again that you are someone who follows through, someone who can be relied upon by others, but most importantly, by yourself. And that self-trust is priceless. It creates momentum that spills over into every aspect of life. Relationships, health, work, and dreams. People will begin to notice your energy, your reliability, your drive. Success attracts success, and suddenly, doors you once thought were closed will start to open. But don't be fooled, laziness is clever. It will come back in different forms, disguised as stress, fatigue, or the need for just one more break. It will try to convince you that you've earned the right to take it easy, that there's no harm in slowing down. That's why self-awareness is essential. Recognize these traps for what they are: opportunities to prove to yourself, once again, that you are in control. The real battle isn't with the workload, the early mornings, or the effort, it's with your mind. The mind is always looking for shortcuts, but the heart knows there are no shortcuts to greatness. Discipline isn't about grinding endlessly without rest. It's about mastering balance, knowing when to push and when to recharge intentionally, without guilt. True rest feels earned, not stolen through procrastination. When you've put in the work, rest becomes a reward that revitalizes you, rather than a guilty escape from what needs to be done. And this is the key. A disciplined life doesn't mean you never rest, it means you rest with purpose, without sabotaging your progress. As you continue this journey, don't forget to reflect on how far you've come. Progress isn't always easy to see in the moment, but if you pause every now and then, you'll realize that the person you are today is stronger, sharper, and more capable than the person you were yesterday. Celebrate those wins, even the smallest ones, because they are proof that change is happening. Let those victories remind you that you're on the right path, and that every step forward, no matter how difficult, is worth it. Sooner or later, you'll realize that the life you once dreamed of is becoming your reality, not because luck found you, but because you created it. You will see that laziness, once a familiar companion, has lost its grip on you. And with it gone, you will find clarity, focus, and freedom. The freedom to live fully, to pursue your passions without hesitation, and to face challenges with the confidence that you can handle whatever comes your way. This is not the end of the journey, it's the beginning of a life lived on your terms. A life where your actions align with your goals, where every day is an opportunity to grow, and where you no longer need to hope for change because you are the change. You are the person who shows up. You are the person who does the work. You are the person who refuses to let laziness steal their future. So keep going, keep building, keep fighting. No matter how small the steps, they matter. No matter how difficult the path, it's worth it. The life you want, the person you aspire to be, is waiting just beyond this moment. All you have to do is keep choosing action, one decision at a time. And when you feel tired, when the weight of life feels heavy, remember this: you've come too far to quit now. The battle against laziness isn't just about the here and now, it's about creating a life you can look back on with pride, knowing you gave your best every day. This is your story. Make it one worth telling. Don't stop. Don't hesitate. Kill your laziness and show the world and yourself what you're truly capable of. Because the only thing standing between you and the life you were meant to live is the decision you make today. Choose wisely. Choose action. Choose greatness. Choose greatness not once, but over and over again. Greatness is not a destination. It's a way of life. It's built in the moments when no one is watching, when quitting seems easier, and when comfort whispers your name. But you didn't come this far to settle. You didn't endure the struggle, the doubt, the setbacks, only to fall back into old patterns. You are here now, in this moment, with the power to shape the future not through grand gestures, but through consistent, deliberate effort. Every time you rise above laziness, you are making a promise to yourself that your dreams are worth fighting for, that your time on this earth will be meaningful, not wasted, that you will not live with the regret of what could have been. Regret is the true weight of laziness. It's heavier than any workload, more exhausting than any effort. But here's the truth. While effort may feel heavy in the moment, regret will weigh on your soul forever. You can avoid that weight. You can wake up tomorrow and know that you gave it your all today. There is a satisfaction that comes with living a life of effort, a quiet pride that no one can take from you. And that pride is worth more than the fleeting comfort of procrastination. When you live with intention, each day becomes a step toward becoming the person you were born to be. You are not here to live halfway, to coast through life on autopilot, or to watch your potential go to waste. You are here to build, to create, to leave your mark on this world. But you can't do that from the sidelines. You must be in the game every single day. Some days will feel like progress, and others will feel like struggle. But both are necessary. The struggle teaches you resilience. The progress fuels your belief. Together, they make you unstoppable. When laziness calls again, you'll be ready. You'll know that the discomfort of pushing through is temporary, but the rewards are lasting. And you'll understand that the most important habit you can cultivate is to show up no matter what. Even on the days when motivation is nowhere to be found. Even when the tasks feel daunting and the finish line seems miles away. The trick is not to wait for motivation, but to let action create it. The small, consistent steps are what win the war. One workout turns into a routine. One task done today leads to a productive week. One disciplined choice gives birth to a lifestyle. And before you know it, you're living the kind of life you once thought was out of reach. Not because of luck, but because you showed up day in and day out when others chose to quit. Remember this, discipline is freedom. The freedom to live a life without the chains of regret. The freedom to explore your potential without limits. The freedom to walk confidently into any situation, knowing that you have the strength and the will to see it through. A life free from laziness is a life where you're in control, no longer a prisoner to hesitation, excuses, or fear. And the best part? The more you win over laziness, the easier it becomes. What once felt like a struggle turns into second nature. Where once there was resistance, there will be flow. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up. Some days will be better than others, but the commitment to act will always be your anchor. So keep going. Every act of discipline strengthens you. Every choice to push through brings you closer to the person you were always meant to be. The life you want, the future you dream of, it's not waiting for some distant day. It's waiting on the other side of your next decision. You have the power to make that choice. Right here, right now. Choose to rise. Choose to act. Choose to kill your laziness, not just for today, but for good. Because the greatest version of you is ready to step forward, and all it takes is that next step. The time for hesitation is over. The time for action is now.